Coming up on First at 4, Governor Beshear and ARC co-chair Gail Manchin announced millions in flood recovery funds. And school leaders in Perry County announced plans for reconstructing the Buckhorn School after last year's flood.
And continuing to watch the potential for more thunderstorms rolling through the mountains. I'm tracking them right now as First at 4 starts right now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, severe storms are popping up across parts of the state this afternoon. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Evan Hatter for the very latest. We do have some warnings, right, Evan?
Indeed, Steve. We've got at least 2 right now, as well as parts of the region under a severe thunderstorm watch. It's turning into a bit of a busy afternoon here in the WYMT First Alert Weather Center. Here's a view of the watches and warnings right now. Only 3 of our counties in a watch right now. That's Wayne in Kentucky, Pulaski, and McCreary until 9 o'clock. But all of our severe weather so far has been, well, north of that. 2 severe thunderstorm warnings in place right now. We have 1 for parts of Estill, Jackson, Lee, Owsley, and Rockcastle counties. That's the southernmost warning you see there. That goes until 4:15. 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail to the size of pennies with that one. And even further off to the north until 4:15, a severe thunderstorm warning for the rest of Estill County, as well as Menifee, Powell, and Rowan counties, and extending up into Montgomery, Bath, and Fleming counties just outside the area. Putting a track on these, here's where the heaviest of this storm is headed over the next 40 minutes or so. White Ash by 4:20, Beattyville 4:23 as that moves into Lee County and into St. Helens, as well in Veda by 4:30 to 4:35. Northern segment, this one has the possibility for hail to the size of quarters, as well as 60-mile-an-hour winds. It's headed toward Frenchburg over the next 15 minutes or so. Salt Lake by 4:16, into Campton by about 4:28. Vortex 4:32 over toward West Liberty by 4:44. Candle City 4:47 if it holds together. Even into Elliott County there, Sandy Hook by the 5 o'clock hour. That's not the only storm activity in the region. Big time thunderstorm complex moving to our south and west. That one has the possibility to move through Nashville over the next little bit. That's where the intense severe weather threat is. From Paducah to Nashville in the level 3 enhanced. We're just in a level 1 marginal risk. Just kidding. We're now in a level 2 slight risk as the Storm Prediction Center updates that to include our western counties now in a level 2 slight risk for severe weather. That just coming in from the Storm Prediction Center. So that's something we'll continue to follow through the evening. It's mild and muggy out there, hazy, mid-80s from Buffalo Mountain. Look at Harlan at 90 right now, so it is mild and muggy. Dew points near 70 to 75. We've got the storm fuel in place. I'll keep tracking these in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, we'll get back to you as necessary. Evan, thank you. Governor Andy Beshear visited Ashland today to announce funding for new high-ground housing developments. That word comes ahead of this year's Appalachian Regional Commission Conference in Ashland. Nearly $1 million for Letcher County's High Ground Community Project and $4.4 million for Perry County's project was announced. That brings an exact match from SAFE Act funds.
So what this means is progress. You know, building a whole new neighborhood, building a whole new community takes some time, but people are going to see it pick up and pick up and pick up in speed.
The governor was joined by ARC federal co-chair Gail Manchin for that announcement. Governor Beshear says the announcement of the grants and discussion about the upcoming conference are all about making sure the region and those impacted by the floods are not forgotten. Perry County school leaders are announcing plans to begin construction soon on the Buckhorn School building. The building, along with their athletic fields, were heavily damaged in the July 2022 flood, leaving the campus vacant during the last school year. Perry County School Superintendent Kent Campbell says they hope to start as soon as possible.
It's a $15 million project. There's it's been a long process, and everyone's been patient, but they're wanting to get back into their building.
Campbell says they plan to keep the exterior structure of the building with a few changes, but renovate the interior. We'll have much more on this tonight at 6. This summer, the Housing Development Alliance has welcomed 3 interns, teaching them a trade during their summer break, while also giving them the opportunity to possibly turn it into a full-time job. Altogether, the 3 have worked on 11 new homes and 4 rehabs since the beginning of June. And intern Samuel Smith says the experience has been great.
this is pretty official, so I'm like learning a bunch of stuff. I can pretty much put together the whole house by myself now, like finish the whole thing.
Smith just graduated from Perry County Central High School and has worked on homes for both flood survivors as well as low-income families, saying he sees the need in the area and hopes to make this a full-time job. UPS and the Teamsters Union still have a couple of weeks to avert a nationwide strike if they can reach a deal by the end of the month. Right now, though, neither side is giving in, and workers in one town in New York State are giving management a glimpse of what will happen if they do not come back to the table. Lisa LaRocca has the story.
What if we don't get it?
UPS union drivers walking what they call a practice picket line before heading into work Tuesday morning at the Customer Center in Yorktown. Contract negotiations between UPS and Teamsters union officials broke down last week. Tentative agreements on several issues had been reached, including heat safety measures such as installing air conditioning in more trucks and getting rid of a two-tier wage system for drivers who work weekends and earn less money. Still, the sticking point is wage increases, especially for part-time workers.
Part-timers do not get a good wage here. The company's made billions throughout the pandemic and doesn't want to share the wealth.
Union officials are asking UPS to increase the starting wage rates for part-time workers and reward the entire workforce. According to UPS officials, part-time workers make a minimum of about $16.20 an hour.
Maybe in the middle of the country you can survive off of that wage, but here you cannot, not even close.
It's totally unacceptable, especially for our part-time members, because we're trying to help them out.
We reached out to UPS officials for comment, and they said in part they have reached agreements on a wide array of issues. Even so, we are not surprised to see some union members making their voices heard. We plan and expect to reach agreement on a new contract before the end of July. Some local lawmakers lending their support say they hope to see negotiations resume.
And to ask for a fair wage, ask for better working conditions, I don't think that's a hard ask.
It is not uncommon for deals to be reached at the 11th hour in situations like this, but if that does not happen, workers say they are ready to walk off the job August 1st. Of course, that could affect the economy in many ways. Well, coming up on First at 4, former President Trump says he is the target of a Justice Department investigation. We'll get the